Every night, often at the same time, your cat performs a subtle ritual while you sleep. You probably miss it completely. This behavior has nothing to do with hunger, play, or habits. Your feline companion has actually developed a sophisticated system over thousands of years, and it's entirely focused on you. Number 1. The Midnight Watch. Sometimes after the house goes quiet, you wake to 2 glowing points in the dark. Your cat holding a steady gaze. It looks eerie, but it has a job. They're tracking your breathing. With night vision roughly 6 times stronger than yours, and a tapetum lucidum that boosts light sensitivity by about 50x, they can work with just 16% of the light you need, reading the slight rise and fall of your chest and the tiny shifts that follow each cycle of air. Evolution wired them to catch micro changes. The flick of a mouse in grass, the whisper of movement across a room, and now those same skills are pointed at you. Your sleeping body is a dashboard, rhythm of breath, occasional turns, even the tempo that hints at your heart rate. Feline research shows they can notice variations that suggest stress or discomfort. It's not haunting, it's repurposed survival. Where wild ancestors scan for prey or threats, your cat scans for you, acting like a living monitor that flags anything off. And when you're sick, anxious, or under strain, the staring intensifies. Countless owners notice their cats grow unusually attentive in hard times, as if they can sense subtle shifts in body chemistry before you do, and choose to keep watch until you're okay. Number 2. The Gentle Validator. Sometime in the night, just as your dreams loosen their grip, you feel it. A light tap on your cheek, the soft weight of a paw against your face. It seems random. It isn't. Your cat has noticed your sleep state shift, and this is a tactical checkup. REM has rolled in, your breathing has turned irregular, your muscles gone slack, and that dramatic change flips their "is everything okay" protocol. Studies on feline behavior show that these nocturnal touches begin when they detect significant variations in your cycle. The contact is a probe, a way to collect more data about your condition. They time it for the fragile, in-between moments, those brief rises toward waking before you drop back into deeper sleep, because from an evolutionary lens, transitions are vulnerability points. Notice where they place the paw, face, neck, hands, areas with easy-to-read pulse points. Their cushioned pads are packed with sensitivity, over 2,000 touch receptors per square centimeter, so they can pick up temperature shifts, pulse, and muscle tension with startling precision. Many owners misinterpret these taps as demands for food or attention, but the pattern tells the truth. The checks pop up multiple times a night with no schedule except their tight correlation to your changing sleep. Your cat isn't pestering you, they're validating the signals, and once satisfied, they melt back into the dark, sentry duty quietly resumed. Number 3. The Thermal Regulator. Through the night, your cat isn't fidgeting, they're running a heat map. They change where they lie on you to track 3 things in real time: your temperature, your restlessness, and your muscle tension. With a baseline of 100.5 to 102.5 degrees Fahrenheit, higher than our 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, they are natural heat sensors, catching tiny shifts that can hint at stress, illness, or simple discomfort. Your own temperature drifts about 1 to 2 degrees across the night, and they follow those waves. In fact, a 2023 study on feline nocturnal behavior found cats reposition about every 79 minutes, neatly echoing human sleep cycles. The moves aren't only for surveillance, they are corrective. Research from Tokyo University's Feline Behavior Unit shows cats often provide thermal support, sliding toward cooler zones that might signal poor circulation or stress, and adding warmth exactly where it's needed. Watch the pattern and it makes sense. Tucked against your neck or head, they're watching pulse points. Stretched along your torso, they're tracking your breathing, anchored at your legs or feet. They're insulating the extremities that lose heat first. The pressure they apply while doing this doubles as a light, weighted blanket. Touch that boosts oxytocin and lowers cortisol for both of you. That's why so many people sleep better with a cat nearby. You're not just being watched over, you're being actively regulated. Number 4. The Doorway Sentinel. It always happens in the deepest part of the night. Sometime after 2 a.m., when your body is at its lowest energy point in the circadian rhythm, your cat slips into position, body angled toward the bedroom door, quietly taking up post between you and the threshold. It looks like a nap. It isn't. This is security work, a constant balance of threat assessment and continued monitoring of your condition. Cats evolved as both predator and prey, which hardwired them for vigilance. Research on territorial behavior shows that facing the door lets them watch the primary access point while keeping you in their peripheral awareness, effectively creating a defensive barrier across the room's most likely entry. From that vantage, they listen the way only a cat can. Where you top out around 20 kilohertz, their hearing reaches roughly 85 kilohertz, and those 32 ear muscles rotate independently to track multiple sound sources at once, sweeping the house for anything out of place while appearing calm. Telemetric studies back up what you're seeing. Activity near entry points rises by about 45% between 2 and 4 a.m., the window when you're most vulnerable. So your sleeping cat is deliberately on duty then. Even indoor cats keep this instinct alive, regardless of real threat levels. The behavior persists because the protective monitoring is deeply ingrained. They're not just lying there. They're actively processing every sound, scent, and movement flowing from that doorway. And if anything changes, out in the hall or with you, the position is tactical. They can pivot fast to respond to the environment while staying keyed to your state. The dual-focus attention is one of the most sophisticated pieces of their welfare check system. Number 5. The Perimeter Patrol. You feel them leave for a minute, then they're back. It isn't boredom, it's a perimeter sweep with you as the central reference point. Tracking studies with night vision cameras show these patrols trace the same routes again and again, skimming territorial boundaries and vulnerability points. Not random laps, but methodical security checks anchored to your sleeping position. The cycles run every 30 to 90 minutes, tightening to shorter intervals before dawn. As they move, accelerometer data shows surveillance pauses every 3 to 5 minutes. Brief, statue-still moments to process sound and scent, an efficient rhythm that alternates motion with analysis to maximize detention while conserving energy. The route order is deliberate. Confirm the main doors, then prioritize windows and any alternate entry points, layering a defense that places you at the protected center. Each circuit ends the same way. A return to your bedside, a quick visual on your breathing, and a reset into their monitoring post. And if anything about your condition seems off, the system escalates. Cats with owners facing health issues increase patrol frequency by up to 35%, a direct bump in vigilance when vulnerability is detected. Through the night, those brief absences stitch together continuous protection. Number 6. The Biological Alarm. A few minutes before your alarm even thinks about ringing, there they are, perched beside you at the exact same time as yesterday. It isn't about breakfast. Your cat has calibrated their internal clock to yours and is reading the end of your sleep cycle with unnerving accuracy. Chronobiological research shows cats can keep time within plus or minus 15 minutes even without cues. They've essentially bent their crepuscular rhythm to line up with your circadian pattern. What looks like a habit is targeted tracking. They catch the tiny tells, shifts in breathing, a change in body temperature, the micro-arousals that mean you're surfacing. The timing often lands right on your natural cortisol spike. And when morning light starts flipping chemical switches in your body, they pick it up before you do. First comes the soft approach. A quiet presence, a subtle shift on the mattress. If you don't budge, they escalate, still tuned to your state, nudging you through the last steps from sleep to wake. Annoying? Maybe. But it's useful. That consistency helps regulate your schedule, and a 2024 human-cat synchronization study found cat owners keep more stable wake-up times than non-owners. In other words, you didn't just get a pet, you got a living alarm clock, calibrated to your biology. Number 7. The Silent Communicator. Night settles and the house goes quiet. You feel a soft shift on the mattress. Maybe catch a glimpse of whiskers in the dark. And then a thread-thin sound. It's not a feed me or a play now. It's low-level signaling meant to reassure you without pulling you fully awake. A specialized nighttime communication system your cat reserves for these hours. Their voice literally drops for the job. Acoustic analyses show night meows sit at 300 to 600 hertz, markedly lower than daytime calls, so they can speak while letting you sleep. Sometimes there isn't even sound you can hear. The open-mouthed silent meow likely pushes into ultrasonic ranges beyond human hearing, a way to express themselves or ping other cats without disturbing you at all. That adaptability is the point. Your cat tunes their output to your state. Then comes the purr, steady, metronomic, in the 25 to 50 hertz range. Those frequencies aren't just cozy. They're documented to promote tissue healing, reduce stress, and can even help strengthen bone density and dial down inflammation. In other words, while you're out, they're running a kind of sound therapy. Maybe cat parents notice the volume knob turns up when they're sick or stressed. Research aligns with that observation, showing cats can increase purr frequency and amplitude when they detect human illness or strain. An active intervention in your well-being, not an accident. And sometimes the message is delivered without a sound at all. The quiet presence at your side, no demands, no tapping paws, just deliberate proximity. That's protective attention, an obtrusive perimeter set around your sleeping body so you can rest while they keep the channel open. Number 8. The Rhythm Synchronizer. Lights out, and over a few weeks, your cat quietly rewrites their schedule to match yours. They're built for polyphasic sleep, 12 to 16 mini cycles adding up to 15 to 20 hours. But to stay with you, they compress those naps around your single 7 to 8 hour block. You can see the shift in the numbers. Compared with free-ranging cats, house cats cut nighttime activity by roughly 40%. A deliberate reroute of their crepuscular wiring toward your timetable. And the adjustment isn't one way. In a Swedish sample of 4,574 people, cat owners were 18% more likely to sleep under 7 hours, both species meeting in the middle. Share a sleeping space and the link tightens. Heart rate variability data shows atomic coupling, and during deep sleep, your breathing falls into step with theirs. A calm, synchronized cadence that reinforces the bond and makes their monitoring easier. The alignment even shows up hormonally. Cats living with humans develop partial melatonin phase locking to their owners, an explicit departure from their natural dawn and dusk bias. The result is two clocks negotiating a common beat. Your cat recalibrates biology to stay close, keep watch, and optimize their protective role while you rest. Number 9. The chemical detector. While you sleep, your cat runs a quiet diagnostic you can't see. They lean closer to your breath, hover near your skin, and sometimes pause with that odd, half-open mouth. The Flehmen look, drawing air across a second sensor in the roof of the mouth. The vomeronasal organ, to parse chemical detail you'll never notice. This isn't guesswork. It's engineering. Cats carry over 200 million olfactory receptors to your 5 million, tuned to volatile organic compounds from breath, sweat, and skin. That hardware lets them catch minute shifts in your body chemistry that can flag stress or illness long before you feel off. The results show up in behavior. Documented cases report cats picking up changes in blood glucose and pre-seizure metabolic patterns with striking accuracy, essentially smelling health changes before symptoms land. That's why some cats become unusually attentive before you consciously realize you're getting sick. They're reacting to early chemical markers. And their extra checking can function as an early warning system. In nursing homes with resident cats, staff have repeatedly noted distinctive feline behavior hours before patient health crises. Strip away the mystery, and it's simple. Your cat isn't being dramatic. They're running molecular surveillance while you sleep. Number 10. The evolutionary bond. Picture the first farms. Grain stores humming with mice, a solitary desert hunter slipping out of the scrub to patrol the shadows. People let those cats stay for a simple reason. They worked. But something else earned them a place by the hearth. The cats that didn't just kill vermin, but also watched. The thresholds, the night, the people, were the ones families kept and kept again. Across 10,000 years of living side by side, that preference quietly shaped a companion with specialized human care abilities. The genome barely budged. Genetic evidence suggests only 13 genes separate domestic cats from their wild ancestors, versus 30 plus in dogs, which helps explain why the old monitoring software still runs so strongly. The predatory vigilance didn't disappear. It was redirected towards your protection. Ancient Egypt saw it and named it. Cats linked to Bastet weren't just mousers. They were credited with warding off evil and disease. An early recognition that these animals detect trouble and respond, sometimes in us. Fast forward to your bedroom at night, the modern house cat sits at the exact intersection of wild capability and domestic adaptation. Almost all the original hunting and surveillance tools now applied for your benefit when you're most vulnerable. Brain imaging work shows cats process human faces along neural routes similar to those used for scanning territory and checking offspring. In other words, you're filed under family and protected ground. That's why the doorway posts, the silent audits, the quick head tilt checks keep happening. They haven't stopped being the desert sentinel. They've simply decided the territory worth guarding includes you. Number 12. The protective predator. The seemingly contradictory nature of cats, being both predator and prey, uniquely qualifies them for their nighttime guardian role. This dual nature creates a perfect protective companion for vulnerable sleeping humans. Their predatory adaptations, acute senses, quick reflexes, silent movement are ideally suited for threat detection and response. These same capabilities that make them efficient hunters allow them to identify potential dangers to you while you sleep. As mid-sized predators themselves, vulnerable to larger threats, cats maintain constant environmental awareness. This hypervigilance, originally evolved for self-protection, extends to you as part of their social group. They're essentially applying their survival strategies to keep you safe. The hunting sequence, freeze, stalk, pounce, translates directly to their protective behaviors. When your cat suddenly freezes during nighttime activities, they're processing potential threat information. Their stereotyped responses to environmental changes help create consistent protection. Their ability to move silently represents another protective advantage. Cats can navigate your home without creating disturbances that might wake you. This stealth capability allows them to perform security functions without disrupting your rest. Even play behaviors connect to this protective instinct. When your cat practices hunting with toys, they're maintaining the skills needed for genuine protection. This explains why many cats become more playful after detecting unusual events in the home. They are essentially running threat response drills. Number 13. The reassurance provider. Beyond physical monitoring, your cat provides powerful psychological benefits through their nighttime presence. Their consistent checking behaviors creates a sense of security that improves your sleep quality. Sleep studies consistently show people with cats experience less insomnia and report feeling more secure at night. The knowledge that another being is alert while you're vulnerable creates profound psychological comfort. Your cat is essentially providing security presence. The regular sound of purring serves as radio confirmation of continued safety. Many people report the rhythmic sound functions like white noise, blocking disruptive environmental sounds while providing consistent reassurance. The acoustic benefits complement the physical monitoring. For people living alone, a cat's nighttime activity significantly reduces feelings of isolation. The subtle sounds of their movement, occasional visual contact, and brief interactions create a sense of companionship without the sleep disruption human companions might cause. Children particularly benefit from this reassurance effect. Research shows children with cats in their rooms report less nighttime anxiety and fewer nightmares. The cat's protective presence creates a transitional security object that helps develop healthy sleep patterns. This reassurance function extends beyond physiological comfort. Studies measuring heart rate variability and stress hormone levels show measurable physiological benefits from sleeping near a cat. Their presence literally reduces your physical stress response during vulnerable sleep states. Number 14. The Micro Movement Monitor. Your cat's sensitivity to your subtle movements during sleep allows them to detect potential problems before they fully develop. They're essentially providing continuous motion monitoring throughout the night. During normal sleep, humans make micro movements approximately every 20 minutes. These small adjustments prevent pressure injuries and maintain circulation. Cats track these movements and can detect when the pattern becomes abnormal, either too frequent, indicating distress, or too infrequent, indicating potential problems. Research using pressure-sensitive bedding demonstrated cats often intervene when humans stop making these regular adjustments. They'll initiate contact or create minor disturbances that prompt position changes without fully waking you. This intervention helps prevent discomfort and circulation issues. Their whiskers play a crucial role in this monitoring system. With sensitivity capable of detecting air movement from breathing, whiskers function as biological motion sensors. When your cat positions themselves near your face or chest, they are optimizing whisker placement for respiratory monitoring. The micro-movement tracking extends to muscle tension assessment. Cats can detect the subtle changes in muscle tone that accompany different sleep stages or indicate discomfort. Their tactile sensitivity allows them to identify these changes through even minimal contact. This monitoring capability explains why many cat owners report their cats seem to know when they're having nightmares. The physical manifestations of distressed sleep, increased movement, muscle tension, altered breathing trigger immediate response from your feline monitor. Number 15. The living legacy. Your cat's nighttime behaviors connect to something ancient and profound, a relationship spanning thousands of years across countless human generations. This living legacy continues each night as they perform their silent watch. Throughout human history, cats have been valued for their protective qualities. From Egyptian temples to sailing ships, they've served as guardians of vulnerable spaces. Your modern cat carries this heritage into your bedroom each night, continuing traditions established millennia ago. The genetic conservation in domestic cats means your pet shares almost identical behavioral patterns with cats from ancient civilizations. When they perform their nighttime monitoring, they are engaging in behaviors virtually unchanged since the earliest days of domestication. This continuity provides a living connection to human history. The same behaviors that caused ancient peoples to welcome cats into their homes continue benefiting you today. The relationship remains fundamentally unchanged despite the massive technological and cultural evolution around it. Perhaps most remarkably, these behaviors develop without specific training. The monitoring instincts emerge naturally in domestic cats, suggesting deep genetic programming reinforced through generations of human interaction. Your cat knows what to do without being taught. Each night as you sleep, you participate in one of humanity's oldest interspecies relationships. The silent figure moving through the darkness, checking your breathing, guarding your door, and synchronizing their rhythms with yours represents a living manifestation of a bond that helped shape human civilization. For more surprising insights, discover the silent language your cat uses to communicate with you every day.